Hey, what's going on? This is me, Nazim with Clients Conversion Academy, and today we have another client success story. I'm sitting with Kelly Weaver, and Kelly, why don't you say hello? Kelly has been with us for 3 months now, and yeah, it's quite amazing how she grew in the program and all the sales, all the struggles, but also all the transformations you achieved.
Good morning. Aloha. Well, it's good morning for me. I'm in Hawaii. So aloha, everyone. I'm Kelly, and I'm a certified law of attraction coach. And like Nazim said, I've been in the program now for about 3 months and loving it.
Perfect. So, Kelly, why don't we just start off by you telling us a little bit about your coaching business and where you sort of were before working with us?
Yeah. So I was trying to do a lot of it on my own, as I think most coaches do in the beginning, and wasn't getting the clients that I knew that I could get. And I was also charging very little value. I think a lot of us start out there thinking, oh, we can't charge that much, but it's really learning how to package ourselves and realize that we indeed can charge that much. So I started off very slowly and had a handful of clients, and I just realized, though, I was working so hard for such little return. And I knew that I deserved more because I saw the tremendous shifts happening in my clients. And that's when I decided, like, I need to find something. Like, I
Hmm.
had run Facebook ads in the past, I had done some other tactics, but nothing seemed to be working to get my ideal clients to me.
Yeah, I remember. I think we 5x your prices, right? They were
Yeah.
like really low, but then it was funny because we sort of like over one or two sales calls, we managed to almost 5x your prices. Obviously, because it was your program is totally worth that and even way more. So, okay, well, why did you decide to? Not trying to blow my horn, but why did you decide to come work with us?
Well, in fairness, I've had the distinct pleasure of working with you in a previous setting. And so I knew your work, I knew your worth ethic, and I knew you were authentic and the real deal. A lot of times there's a lot of people out there who I don't feel have the best intention, but that was something that was really important to me, to align with someone who had the same values. And so I knew that genuinely you were really concerned about helping all of your clients get results, and that you're brilliant. You know how to do this, you know how to do it well and easily. And I needed a lot more automaticity in my life as well.
Mm.
I was really fumbling around with all of that. And so it was a no brainer when you decided that you had something set up, because it was funny actually, because as a law of attraction coach, I had set the intention a long time ago when I had met you, like, I wonder how I could work with Nazim in the future. And then this opportunity came up, which I believe is no accident. And for me, it was just knowing truly what you are able to do for clients, and your repeated success of people that I saw that worked with you, that I was like, this is the next step for me.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for all the kind words to me and Fritz.
Yeah,
And
and well.
great. So let's talk about actually some of your pain points or sticking points, let's call them that, by the time when you came in the program and what we did to fix them. From top of my head, I can think of a few actually already. Number one is the price point. And I
Mhm.
think charging more for your services, obviously charging more as long as it makes sense, right?
Mhm.
It's just a matter of really understanding. It's a mindset shift, right? You understand, the kind of value your clients get when they join your program and the kind of amazing service you deliver, and then you just go for it. With you, to be super honest with you, I don't think we had to do much of the mindset work because we just said, okay, what about this price? And you're like, okay, I already believe and know that it's totally worth the price. So it almost feels like you just needed someone to give you permission to charge more, and they're like, okay, cool, I'll start charging more. So that was number one. Did you feel like any differences between charging what you were and what you're charging now?
Well, at first, it was definitely a mind shift thing, but I think I had done that work a little bit before I had gotten in here, because what what helped me, and I'm not saying people should do this, but for me, charging that low end price did help me bring confidence, knowing that the work I was doing was working. By the end, like I said, I was like, okay, they got a steal. And actually it was funny because um almost all of them told me that I charged way too little, and that
Okay.
they were very grateful for that opportunity, but they understood that it was way undervalued.
Right.
And so I had done a lot of that mind stuff shift work, but I was still hesitant when you said a little bit about the cost, just
Mhm.
because I know it, I know how a lot of people work with their money mindset, right? But you taught me in this program to really focus on what their pain points are, and how can they then resist. If you really are able to capture their pain points and know that they need help, they see this as a viable solution, and the investment seems like a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah, I love how this is a perfect segue to point number two, which is sales. I think this is where we did most of the heavy lifting for you, right? For sales, and then obviously lead generation, which would be the third point. So for sales, let's talk about and it's not just you, but let's talk about people's inclination to do coaching calls on sales calls, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I definitely needed help with sales. I had definitely a mindset block around asking people, and really needing to shift that you don't have to be some grimy salesperson, that you provide a roadmap, a very clear like script, let's call it for a better sake of terms, that really outlines and makes it be a conversation. The
Mhm.
coach in me, the natural coach in me, it's difficult, because when people get on the call and they start talking about those pain points, the natural coach in me wants to help fix them.
Mhm.
But that is not what is needed on the sales call at that time, right? It's holding them to that pain so that then they want to transition into the
Mhm.
actual coaching part.
Right, to make a transformation, you need to feel the pain, right? And
Yeah.
obviously, we're all nice people, and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But and this is usually like the part that especially soulful person people like you like don't like, like grilling people a little bit and then calling them out by their pain points and emotions. But it's absolutely necessary. Like there's a fine line, right, there as well, right? Because we know, and you can do this, or you can do this ethically, or you can cross the line and engage in predatory almost, right, sales tactics. But obviously, um, as long as you stick to certain limits, it's very much necessary, right? Unless you do this, and why would your prospect buy? And your prospect buying from you is not really buying a service, but they're buying a transformation, right? They're buying, the fact that they need to transform. And if they don't feel pain, there's no real need to transform. No one's ever thought to themselves, okay, well, I am fine, but hey, let me transform. Like a transformation comes usually from being in a bad place and then wanting to shift and transform to a place that's better, right? And for that, they need to feel the pain. So coaching people, and then also a lot of times saying it's okay, it's fine, you're doing just fine, like that thing as well. Like if you're telling your prospect it's fine, why would they buy from you? Like if they're fine as it is, you don't want to put them down for sure, but you want to call them out by their pain point. And if they have it, acknowledge it, recognize it, right? Instead of saying, no, it's okay. That's what, like, keep that for your get togethers with friends where you're empathetic and all that, right? Keep that for when they're inside of the program and commiserate and be like a great coach and whatnot. But not on a sales call. This is action time. And step number three is lead generation, right? This is actually, it's funny because when you joined the program, you already had some sales calls going for you, not too many, but you had some from your readings, some engagements in your Facebook group, but still the volume and the consistency wasn't there until we got into the whole lead generation part, which you showed a bit of resistance for, which is fine. But I feel like as soon as you started doing it, it sort of like opened the floodgates for more leads, right?
it's like any skill, right? When you first started, it feels uncomfortable and unnatural. But
Mhm.
now that I've learned the technique and I've done it, I actually think that this is my proudest success personally, because that was really hard for me. And
Mhm.
again, trying to not seem slimy and, talking to these people. And then it was actually a client that really helped open my eyes to that, because we assume a lot of times on social media that everyone's seeing our posts or
Mhm.
seeing what we do, right?
Right.
And even people in kind of, let's use my group, for example. But I learned from a client, they don't. They
Mhm.
don't see every post. They don't always know what you're doing. And so by you in giving me permission, as you mentioned before, of having a conversation with these people, I'm actually offering them a gift and a service. And I had forgotten that, because the very first client I had ever gotten, I had been posting and posting and posting, and this person never interacted on a post, never commented, never said anything.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden reached out to me and was like, I've been watching what you're doing. I've been listening to you. And I had done a video by the beach in my convertible, and talking about my amazing
Mhm.
transformation here in Hawaii. And she was like, you're my coach. I need you. And so sometimes I think we as coaches or entrepreneurs have to understand that, like, sometimes we don't see the fruits of our labor, but we
Mhm.
have to consistently do it. And that's what you taught me in that, in the lead generation too, is it's consistency, right? Over time,
Mhm.
every
Mhm.
single day.
Yes. Yes.
And and I'm actually enjoying it now. I'm meeting really cool people, having really great conversations, and it doesn't feel slimy at all.
Yeah.
It feels like natural, and that is genuinely me. I love to talk to people. I love to get to know them, even if I don't get to work with them, because not everyone is my ideal client and I'm not everyone's ideal coach. But wow, what it's opened up for me is just been amazing. So
Awesome.
that is, I think, been my favorite part, honestly, is learning how to have those conversations naturally, and actually realizing I'm helping people by making them aware of what I have to offer, because they truly don't know.
Right. In the beginning, it almost always, let's say it sucks, right? It's not very
Oh, yeah.
pleasant. You feel yourself as of an imposter or
Right.
annoying or whatnot. But then you, number one, get desensitized for, for these feelings, from these feelings. But then also you realize that yes, okay, some people may not respond, but when they do, they actually become your clients, and then they share their amazing success stories with you. Then it makes sense, right? The game is worth the candles, right? This is when you know, okay, so this is why I'm doing this stuff. It's not to avoid pain, but it's for a greater good. Like it's for those grateful clients and amazing transformations, that it's worth doing this. Obviously for the money as well, but also it's not just about money, right? There's a greater good, and that is the outcome of the process.
And it's funny because I wrote a book, um, Living Your Own Aloha,
It's
5 Steps.
out. Nice. There you
It's
go.
going to be out soon. I have a copy just being an author, but it's funny you say this, because in my own book, I didn't at first take my own advice, which is sometimes the answer is no, but it's
Right.
not necessarily a no forever. And you don't die if somebody says no to you. You don't
Exactly.
combust. It's like you said, if I think one day we were having a conversation about it, and you're like, Kelly, what's like the worst that can happen is they don't respond to you, or they block you, or whatever. And so then I thought back to that chapter that I talk about, that like the answer is always no unless you ask. And so you could be giving someone the greatest gift by just asking, because they don't even know. And if you make them angry or upset, or they block you, then in my coaching world, they're not your ideal client, and you're not the ideal coach. And
Exactly.
you move on to the next person. So no is not going to do anything into your life except bruise your ego. And at some point you have to get over that.
I'll bring out one of my renowned stating analogies, but I think I'm not gonna do that for this one. Right, perfect. Well, Kelly, thanks for being with me and joining the call. Do you have any parting words for whoever might who might be watching this video?
I would just like to say this sincerely. having you and Fritz and joining this program was a big commitment and a big step. And it was worth every single penny. I cannot emphasize that enough. I learned more. I've invested in myself professionally and personally now for over 3 years. I've spent a lot of money. Some of that money, not good at all. I mean, completely honest. But I am just astounded at not only how quickly, and you shared that with me, that I would make the money back. You would help me to see through that. And I think that's, again, the point that I need to emphasize with this program, is that you and Fritz both genuinely care about our results. You want us to build our business to the goals and the levels that we have. You know, my goals and levels are different than some of the other people in the
Right.
program.
That's
You've
important.
always
Yes.
have been willing to work with what we need and what we want. And I will tell everyone about you. And I don't want to see people struggle. And this is one of those situations where, you know, don't don't go another day of struggling if you're having trouble getting leads, getting clients, because this is a roadmap that can take you there very, very quickly. And also
Perfect.
you get to work with Nazim. I mean, come on, what else could there be? Yeah.
Thanks. Well, thanks for the kind words, Kelly. I look forward to helping you even more in your business. Once your book is out, do let me know. Send me the link, so I'll be uploading this on YouTube and all other social media channels, and I'll make sure to link to post a link to your book as well. And I'm gonna obviously order a copy for myself and Fritz too. And it's really nice to see this project of yours come to fruition as well. For yeah, again, for anyone who's watching, thanks for tuning in. This is me, Nazim, with Clients Conversion Academy, and we will catch you in the next one. Talk soon.